What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to yet another video. In today's video, I have your weekly SPY and QQQ market update. We're also going to be looking at the economic calendar, what to expect next week in the market. But real quick, as always, before we hop into the video, if you guys do find value in this video, make sure to smash that like button as well as clicking that subscribe and that bell icon. It would mean the absolute world to me. But without further ado, let's hop into the video. And then real quick, if you haven't already, I highly suggest you check out my new book, The New Age of Day Trading, The Ultimate A through Z Trading Guide on Amazon. This book is 325 pages, goes over my entire day trading strategy, a lot about Fibonacci retracements. I also talk about my SPY and QQQ trading strategy, the exact indicators I use intraday, specific day trading setups that I like to look for, and so much more. So again, I highly suggest you check out the new book, The New Age of Day Trading, The Ultimate A through Z Trading Guide. The link will be down in the description. Anyway, so let's start off by looking at the US economic calendar. So Monday, September 25th, we have absolutely nothing planned. But then going into Tuesday at 8:30, we have our new home sales, as well as the home price index at 9 o'clock. Then at 10 o'clock, consumer confidence. If you're in an open position, definitely want to be careful about that. And then finally at 1:30, we do have a Fed speaker. 8:30, we have durable good orders minus transportation. Honestly, I really don't pay too much attention to that. But then on Thursday, we're going to have our initial jobless claims and our GDP revision, which is going to be very, very important. And then a couple more Fed speakers. We have Powell right at market close, so not too important. And then finally going into Friday at 8:30, we have our PCE, core PCE, PCE year over year, and core PCE year over year, which is going to be very, very important. Personal income, personal spending, advanced U.S. trade balance, advanced retail inventories, advanced wholesale inventories, and then everything else. But consumer sentiment final, again at 10 o'clock, that's going to be important. So mainly on Friday, PCE and consumer sentiment is what we want to pay attention to. Now, hopping into the charts on everything I'm going to be watching this week on SPY and QQQ. So zooming out to a daily time frame, let me just go ahead and clean this chart up real quick for you guys. Take off VWAP, take off the 8 EMA. But looking at the daily chart, you can see that we lost this low right here. So two things could happen. This could entice people to go short below this previous low. And if that's the case, what can we conclude? A lot of people are currently short. If they reclaim this 433 level, we could see a nice little short squeeze and we could fill the gap to the upside. So that could definitely be a scenario. If price breaks above 436, I'm looking for the daily gap fill up into 438.50. If we start going above there, and depending on when we find a bottom, there is a Fibonacci retracement that we can take from this pivot high to wherever that pivot low ends up being. Again, if we reclaim this level, we can take that high to low, look for rejects up there. But if price continues to fall to the downside on SPY, I honestly have no good bounces until all the way down at 420. So if we take this pivot low to pivot high right here, you can see 50% retracement is at 420. And then also at the same time, we do have that previous high over here at this 418.30. So I'm going to be watching this entire zone from 420 all the way down to 418.30 for a potential bounce. But again, if we lose it, I then have nothing until 410.75. So those are my only bounce areas on SPY right now. We do have a tiny little gap that could get filled right here. Maybe next week. I mean, that's going to be an $8 drop to get down there. So pretty much if we reclaim 433, I'm going to be looking for the rip to the upside. If price breaks below 430, I'm going to be looking for more downside on SPY. Now we're going to look at QQQ, but then after that, I do want to take a look at TLT. I'm going to show you guys something that the bonds are showing us that SPY and QQQ in the overall market is not showing us. So if we look at QQQ, the area that I'm going to be interested in a bounce next week is going to be this 350-470. If we lose that, I have nothing until 350, which is going to be right here, psychological resistance and support. So if we get down to 350, I will be looking for a bounce from there. Now, if we break 350 and we continue lower, the only pivot low, pivot high that I am currently seeing is here to here. And I have nothing until 336.50, and then the next one after that is going to be from this pivot low to pivot high, which is going to be way down there. So maybe that comes into play in the future. We'll see. But if the market does get strong early next week and QQQ starts breaking above this 361.8, I am going to be looking for the gap to get filled up into this 364.46 and then be looking for a reject from there. Now, again, depending on whenever the market decides to bottom out, we can start taking Fibonacci retracements, pivot high, pivot low, pivot high, pivot low. whenever the market bottoms out. Those are the fibs that I will be using and looking for rejects if price were to break above that 364.50. So that is everything that I'm going to be watching on SPY and QQQ next week. Now, the thing that I wanted to bring up about TLT and the overall bonds is we used this a lot last year to understand when the market was going to give the next leg down. Let me pull up this screenshot. So if we look at this tweet that I put out on July 8th, which was what, two and a half months ago, every single time TLT broke below this bear flag, besides one time last year, the market gave the next leg down shortly after. So last year was a lot of using TLT to understand when the next leg down was coming in the market. So as we see right here, 310, we had a breakdown. I think that was the one that didn't work out. I think 310 was like somewhere around here. But then after that, we have 4.5. As you can see, TLT breaks below the bear flag. Where's 4.5? Right in this area right here on SPY. Next one, 429, breaks below the bear flag. Where is that? Right here. Next one is on 6.1. We break down right here. Where is 6.1? Boom. And then this next one right here on August 10th. Where's August 10th? Right here. As we can see, that pretty much marked the high on SPY before it then gave the next leg down and went all the way down to that monthly 50% retracement. So what I say in this tweet is interesting perspective from the bonds. Most bear flag breakdowns hinted to more downside in SPY and QQQ last year. With this market rally, TLT has stayed in a range of 109.5 and 99.3. I'm curious to see what happens with SPY and QQQ if the bonds break below 99.31. So if we pull up the day that TLT actually started breaking the consolidation, which actually ended up being this 98.82, you can see that try to break below here, but then rip back up. So it was in this range all the way from 109.68 to 98.82. Once price finally started breaking below that, that was August 1st and August 2nd, or August 3rd, I think this was, August 2nd. So now if we head on over to SPY and we look at August 1st, August 2nd, where was that? August 1st, August 2nd. And that marked the exact high on SPY and QQQ. So now the thing that is very interesting to me with TLT is it actually broke last year's low at this 91.85. So now if we zoom out to a higher time frame perspective, we did clear this low right here. Again, it could be a liquidity sweep. It could entice people to start going short on the bonds and then rip back up and start pushing to the upside. That could possibly happen. We're just going to have to wait and see what actually ends up happening. But as far as what the bonds are telling me is it is setting a new yearly low, which is not good. So we look at the monthly time frame, the next logical area of support is going to be down here at this 87.46. So if the bonds are leading SPY and QQQ, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens out and how things play out for the remainder of the year. But that is going to wrap up this video on my SPY and QQQ market update, as well as what the bonds are currently hinting at. As always, if you guys did find value, make sure to smash that like button as well as clicking that subscribe and that bell icon. It would mean the absolute world to me. And again, make sure you guys check out my new book, The New Age of Day Trading, the Ultimate A through Z Trading Guide, officially on Amazon. The link will be down in the description. Everybody have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.